Welcome to Mainland Television Regional News. I'm Graham O'Brien, and today's bulletin: a home for Men's Shed, yacht thief for dreamer, climate change at Security Council, and more. Men's Shed Whakatū has been searching for a home for just over a year, with some doors not prepared to open for this new organisation. However, one group has now agreed to let Men's Shed use some space that is surplus to requirements in Quarantine Road. Chrissy Small found out more this week about the new premises and the new Nelson Base Men's Shed.
I'm here with my colleague Graham, and we're to talk about the Men's Shed. Graham, of course, has been instrumental in bringing Men's Shed Whakatū to fruition. Now, Graham, where are things at? Well, first off, what is Men's Shed?
So, Men's Shed is traditionally a place for older men to go, where there is, when they've retired or had to downsize, and they have extra tools, they've got all these skills that they're no longer using, and they're bored around the house, they're driving the wives crazy, so they come along to the Men's Shed. Men's Shed collects tools and has them for everyone to use who is a member. Right.
Okay, this sounds intriguing. So is it a men's only zone?
There are different rules for different sheds from what I understand. The funniest story I've heard is that they had a vote with the wives, and the wives voted not to be included because they realised that they'd be sucked into doing all the work. Some of them run with women, a lot of them run with women's only days, which I think is quite a good concept. For me, when I started up, I was surprised when I put it out there and got a lot of names for it. I actually got a number of women's names back as well, so we're working with that concept. But we're getting started, so let's take one step at a time.
Yeah. Okay, so you're getting started. The first step, of course, is a premises. Now, this has been quite a struggle. You've been on looking, or on. I'll start that again. Okay, so you have to do an edit, guys. Okay, so we're back to the beginning, really, because you've got the organisation, but without a premises, it's not going to work. So a whole year's gone by since you've begun this journey of trying to find somewhere. Tell me some of the battles you've had.
Well, first off, when I talk to the men's sheds around the country, basically it takes about 3 years from the start of the idea to actually getting a shed, and that's the same for the Waimea shed as well. They were just over 3 years, and they were about to throw up their hands, and the Richmond Showgrounds gave them a shed. So for me, I thought that Men's Shed would fit really well in Founders. So I approached Founders, and unfortunately they didn't have the same idea. They didn't see the vision that most men's sheds have, and that they provide a lot for the community that they're in. I thought it would fit perfectly, but the management and Founders didn't see the same. So we had to put in a tender like everybody else for the garage that was up for space down there. That took 4 months to go through a process. And then when we got back, we heard that 3 months before that they'd actually put the earthquake risk on it, and it wasn't open to anyone. So I was a little bit upset about that, as you can imagine. We were waiting and waiting and waiting, and then told, oh, we made a decision ages ago. So.
Okay, so wouldn't the Men's Shed be quite capable? I mean, you'd have kind of retired engineers and builders and all sorts of things like that involved in this organisation, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Would that be right? So why couldn't they look at, saying we'll take it on and fix it up?
Yeah, well, I got the earthquake report, and it wasn't too terrible. I sent it to a couple of architects who said, yeah, you could do it as long as someone signs off on it, obviously, and you do it to spec. But once again, Founders wasn't interested. They just said, put your tender in like everybody else. So basically, we just give up. I spent a year trying to go through things and didn't really get even through the front door, so I don't really.
Okay, so basically the door closed.
Yeah.
Very sad. Okay, so now you've had some good news.
Yeah, so we just through hearing and watching what's going on, I see that Habitat for Humanity had a new building. I thought that's a big building they've got down there on Quarantine Road. There must be some spare room. And I rang them up, and I left a message, and they actually got the other end of the stick that we were going to help them. So I said, well, we could help you after you help us. So we met with our committee met with their board, and we decided to let's give it a go let's give it a go anyway and see how we go. So we're on a very relaxed sort of relationship at the moment. They've given us a shed out the back, which is surplus to requirements and needs work. So I think they're looking at it that if they can fix that up, then they've at least got the commitment to go through with it.
Yeah, well, it seems like a really cohesive relationship actually, because Habitat for Humanity, obviously they're going around homing people locally, and of course it's all hands on deck in those situations. So maybe some of your members with spare time will be able to help out in some of those builds.
Sure, and we, I mean, like I said before, men's sheds are traditionally for older gentlemen, but we feel that in Nelson we've got such a different demographic that we can actually include a lot of a wider of our community. Them being the unemployed that needs skills. I mean, hey, the unemployed could go along after helping out and go to a job and say, well, I can use a skill saw, I can use all these tools, I made this, so that would be good to get a job.
Yeah.
We've talked to the English Language Centre, and they're really keen to come on board to have workplace English for their new migrants and refugees who need to know how we talk in the workplace between blokes.
Oh, I don't know whether that's such a good thing, but okay.
And we really want to work with the local Māori community. So now we've got something. I'm really looking forward to talking to the local iwi and seeing how we can help them as well, and they can help us.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're really going forward, and we think a lot of people can be included in this men's shed. So
it's an inclusive organisation. It's not just for men per se, but it'll be, obviously you're looking at branching out a bit further than maybe the other men's shed organisations.
Yeah, I mean, and whatever we do, it's quite good, because we're not doing anything new. I mean, there's 1,000 men's sheds in Australia. They have $3 million in funding for men's health, because they know that you can have as many coffee and cake chat sessions as you like and no men will turn up. But as many wives know, if you put a shed there, you can't keep them out of it. So that works really well for men's health. And in New Zealand, we've got over 300 now. And actually in the top of the south, Nelson is the last place to get a men's shed. So you're talking about Tapawera, Motueka, Blenheim, Richmond, you name it. I mean, Richmond has got 40 people coming from Nelson.
Yeah.
So it just seems ridiculous that everyone's travelling over there. So we're hoping to poach back some of their members back to the city. Sure,
and maybe leave some spaces for some of the other people to go into the Richmond men's shed from that area. Look, it sounds like a really good scheme, and of course you're not cancelling out women being involved at this stage.
No, not at all. I mean, I think Women's Days would work really well. They do, and the Waimea Men's Shed does training courses for women, like tap washers, all these sort of things around home that maybe the solo mums might want to do, single mums might want to do. I've had single mothers approach me that wanted to make a cart for the kart races, so maybe there's something there as well.
Yeah,
so it'd be really good.
Sounds great.
To it.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh well, and anyone who wishes to join in with this Wakatu Men's Shed, how do they get hold of you?
Yeah, just go to the link that's provided on the bottom of the screen there and get in contact. We've got the AGM this Sunday at Lambrettas at 4 o'clock. Please come along and support it, even if you just come along to show that your organisation would support this one, would be a big bonus for us and give us a lot of motivation.
Great, and of course that meeting's open to women as well?
Yeah, open to everybody. More people the merrier as always.
Great, awesome, thank you very much.
No, thanks Chris. We spoke to Habitat Director Rob Silcock about the offer.
Well, as you can see, this is the new premises for the men's shed, and it's not flash. There's a lot of work to be done here. Habitat for Humanity have got the lease for the overall building space here, and we at Habitat see the men's shed as a natural fit with us, because we're both community-based, not-for-profit organisations. We're returning good back into our communities, and secondly, the fact is that we're working with furniture, etc. here, and the men's shed people are supposedly working with tools, and so therefore there's a natural fit there as well. So I'd like to wish you all the best with this men's shed project, and go for it. Yeah,
the first men's shed project.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's the first one. Yeah, first for Nelson. So that's great, and I mean, I'm quite excited by it all. I think we can work well together, and I think that as I said, there's a natural fit there for Habitat for Humanity. So we are used to working with our community. We've got a marvellous supporting community here in Nelson, and it's good to be able to work with them, knowing that we've got that support. So.
Menshed Whakatū is holding their first AGM this Sunday 26 at 4 p.m. at Lambretta's Cafe. Any persons who wish to support or join this community initiative are most welcome. A 28-year-old man of no fixed abode was arrested late Monday night after being disturbed breaking into a batch in the Marlborough Sounds. The 32-foot yacht Dreamer, which was reported missing from Motueka on Sunday, was located moored in Okiwi Bay, and the man admitted to police he had sailed the yacht to the bay and was in the process of getting supplies to sail it further when he was caught. The man will appear in the Blenheim District Court later today, charged with burglary. Around 30 Green Party members braved a chilly evening to hear Green MP Kennedy Graham on Monday evening at NMIT. Speakers on climate change usually give predictions of the end is nigh kind, however this meeting was a little different. Kennedy did outline some advances being made in diplomatic circles with the upcoming Security Council, of which New Zealand has the presidency for this month, and the annual UN Summit on Climate Change to be held in Paris in November. I spoke with Greens MP Kennedy Graham about the upcoming meetings and their aims.
Kennedy Graham, thanks for taking a couple of minutes to talk to us. I know it's late and it's been a long day for you.
Right.
You've got a couple of big meetings coming up that you were talking about before. Can you tell us a little bit about them and what's your aims?
Well, the first one is the United Nations Security Council, which is meeting in a couple of weeks' time. It meets almost every day, but in 10 days' time on July 30, it's got an open debate on the security of small island states. New Zealand happens to be the president of the Security Council this month, July 2015. And it's selected that subject. And of course, climate change, I think, is going to be high on the list of the security of small island states. So I'm calling on the Security Council now to take that particular debate as the occasion to declare climate change to be a threat to international peace and security. Because we've got to a stage where it is clearly a danger to the whole international community, beginning with small island states.
And how do you think that'll go down at this time? It must be quite a big step for a lot of the countries to recognise that.
It will be a big step for the Security Council to take, but the Security Council has been inching towards that for some time. It first looked at the issue of security of climate change in April 2007, and it's revisited it on a number of occasions. It has already called climate change to be a risk multiplier to international peace. The Secretary General of the United Nations has said, in his view, it is a threat to international peace and security. So I think it's going to happen. Whether it happens on July 30 under New Zealand's presidency is another thing. Yeah.
Great, thanks very much. And you've also got the Paris Summit coming up, the annual Climate Change Summit. Can you tell us a little, just quickly about that?
That's a different kind of meeting altogether. That's the normal multilateral negotiations that the United Nations are having, but there's 195 parties to the Framework Convention 1992. They're negotiating the targets to try to reduce their emissions to stay under 2-degree temperature increase. Those negotiations are going very slowly. They're very complex. And the question is, will we turn that around in time? And the relationship between those two meetings is that if you conclude that the international negotiations are going too slowly for us to turn things around in time to prevent dangerous climate change, then you have to look to the Security Council to act under binding powers. Yeah.
A frostfish that has washed up onto Rabbit Island this week has become a bit of a novel celebrity. However, in 1918, a Mr. Harley of Nelson wrote in the local paper that frostfish were plentiful and often up to 6 feet in length, and were to be seen swimming around the Nelson wharfs. He went on to say how he could go to the sands at Nelson and was able to drive John Dory onto the beach. All this makes you wonder, what we take for granted now will become a novelty for future generations. With emotions running strong in the local Mapua community about the closure of Hamish's on Mapua Wharf, Mainland News couldn't get an interview with the commercial manager for Tasman Council, Mr. Gene Cooper. However, we did receive an email response to our questions regarding rental conditions for the new development, who makes the decisions for the wharf development, and why Council did not grant Hamish's an extension on their lease in the current building. Council spokesman Chris Choate told Mainland News that the generic rental terms and conditions for new tenants for the new wharf development are a period of 3 to 5 year terms. The Council is confident they are in line with the current market rentals being paid by other tenancies in the area. 2 businesses have been interested enough to sign up to the new tenancy on the wharf, but have then pulled out to date, one being Hamish's and the other for reasons unrelated to the business.
The vision for the wharf was developed between the council and the community. The commercial manager is facilitating the commercial aspects of that vision. When asked if there is any intention to move any other businesses or organisations like the existing Mapua Boat Club, it was said that this has not been discussed. The Mapua Waterfront Advisory Group holds quarterly meetings. This group is made up of members of the Community Association, the Local Business Association, neighbours, wharf business representatives, Boat Club, the Ruby Coast Initiative and iwi. The TDC Commercial Manager also reports to the Council's Commercial Subcommittee, of which 2 elected members are Mutri Waimea councillors and the 3 appointed members are Mapua residents. The Council says it was not able to guarantee Hamish's continued presence in the building because of existing contractual arrangements entered into prior to the Council owning the building. It, however, provided 2 more years of occupancy than that arrangement originally allowed and has gone beyond usual commercial practice to assist with the transition. After the break, we'll bring you the latest weather update and some events and happenings coming up from around the region.
Welcome to Smugglers Pub and Cafe, open 7 days a week with free parking all day. Our lunch menus have that fat old-fashioned flavour where we treat you like treasure with the food you'll savour.
We cater for children, grannies and granddads too, with special rates and privileges given to the elderly lunchtime crew. Our staff are friendly and kind and want to see you all come back time after time.
Daytime or evening, it doesn't matter. Give us a call on 546 4084 and we'll be happy to spoil ya.
I'm Francis from Nelson Auto Glass. We repair all auto glass, stone chips, windscreen replacements, scratch removal.
If you have an auto glass issue, our team will sort it.
Nelson Auto Glass Specialist, 84 Vanguard Street, Nelson.
Hi everyone, I'm Malcolm Harris from The Facilitators. We now look after sales for mainland TV, radio, Sky and online. New Zealand On Air's latest Colmar Brunton survey confirms mainland's large multimedia audience. If you're in business or want to put a message out to everyone in the Nelson Tasman region, plus nationwide on Sky or worldwide online, please give me a call or see our website at www.mainlandtv.nz.
We're the team at JCar, right here in Nelson, 120 Hardy Street. Our shop is full of electronic items,
including security alarm systems, electronic components,
solar and power,
electronics toys,
sound systems, cables and much, much more.
JCar, 120 Hardy Street, Nelson.
World War I was a defining period in our history, impacting greatly on the lives of people from the Nelson province. Memories of the First World War is an exhibition which will be displayed in a number of regional venues and is currently on at the Nelson Provincial Museum.
Language Partners are taking enrolments for their volunteer training course starting the 1st of September to help new migrants and refugees learn English for about 1 hour a week. For more information, please go to the links provided. 70 years on from VJ Day 1945. On August the 15th, an informal commemoration is taking place at Rutherford Park, hosted by the Nelson RSA in conjunction with citizens of Nelson. Times are yet to be confirmed, or you can contact Nelson RSA for further details. On behalf of the team here at Mainland Television News, thank you for joining us, and we'll bring you the latest news and events from around the region again tomorrow.
supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
This is a beautiful 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom home. It's a large internal access double garage. It fits 2 cars nicely with a little workshop bench at the end of it. In this room we have 2 large lazy boys, a 3-seater and a 2-seater leather lounge suite, 50-inch Samsung TV and a heat pump. Features are a cathedral ceiling and of course that beautiful view.
For relatively little cost, you too can sell your house. Do it yourself. You're the best person to promote and sell your own house. Your personal endorsement is the best selling proposition. Put yourself on screen and sell it. You know the attractions of your house. You know it better than anybody else. So, get up there and tell us all about it. Sell it.
Upstairs we have 3 bedrooms. One of these has a full ensuite, that's the master bedroom, with large bifold doors. Now out these bifold doors you get to a wraparound deck area that faces northwest, and this is lovely in the morning for sitting and having your coffee.
Hawk Films is now producing for you an advertising package and a broadcasting service at a price far lower than you would expect. We will produce your advertising video and feature it across TV, radio and electronic media. Your message will be up to 3 minutes long and it'll be broadcast 5 times a day on radio and TV. 5 times a day. And it will be listed online all day, every day, for exposure to your potential buyers. You can also use the ad and the photos to promote your house on radio, TV, Trade Me and other real estate sites. We can also offer drone aerial shots for a totally different viewpoint from the one you would normally see. Selling your house is up to you and your solicitor. We're here to merely add value to your advertising strategy. Give me a call and let's get your property on the market. Or better still, email or text me and I'll call you back.
Yes.
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 Here at Yes Shop, we love the word yes.
Yes.
We say yes to kitchenware. We say yes to beauty. We say yes to homewares. We say yes to fashion. We say yes to electronics.
Yes to Philips. Yes to Dell. Yes to Apple.
Happy Cool, Glad, Goldair, Hurom and thousands of other products in our store.
Yes!
So yes to TV shopping that's all about fun, made right here in New Zealand with Kiwi presenters like me.
Yes! Say yes to the ultimate service.
With dedicated presenters taking the product out of the box and showing you how it works.
And what it can do for you.
Say yes to our international buying power. That lets us bring you the best bundles at the best bargains.
All from the comfort of your own home.
24 hours a day.
So what are you waiting for?
There's nothing quite like it.
Come with me.
Say yes to Yes Shop.
Yes!
Why would you want to pay as much as $1,000 for a single bed mattress when you can buy a high quality locally made mattress like this for as little as $220? And a queen size mattress could cost you in excess of $3,000, but at Nelson Beds you could have a mattress like this as low as $425. So why would you go out and spend a fortune on your child's bedroom when you can come to Nelson Beds and buy a complete single mattress and base set, a 7-drawer Scotch chest, a headboard and a 3-drawer bedside cabinet for as little as $979? So call and discuss our custom manufacturing options and local after sales service at Nelson Beds, Nelson's only bedding manufacturer.
Welcome me hearties to Smugglers Pub and Cafe, famous for hearty meals, craft ales and a friendly service way. Sensational seasonal menus with meals all day and evening too, or sail in for a snack with special menus for young smugglers and you. Settle in for a jolly old time, relax and enjoy our award-winning dining and lovely fine wine. Decked out in an old worldly way, we're open 7 days. Book or come on in to 8 Muritai Street, not far from a beach, walk or swim. Phone 546408.
I'm Francis from Nelson Auto Glass. We repair all auto glass, stone chips, windscreen replacements, scratch removal.
If you have an auto glass issue, our team will sort it.
Nelson Auto Glass Specialists, 84 Vanguard Street, Nelson.